Hey everybody, how you doing? Hopefully this is all working. We have been a little busy. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the things that I want to have. I was working on, I had not touched the miniature since last week, so I'm a little bummed. I'd hoped to be able to work on it this weekend. This week's episode for GameNight has been challenging and is probably, it should be fine, but oh my gosh. You will see why soon. I might have even mentioned it in the chat on our stream last week on GameNight stream, because oh my gosh, it is crazy. Let me see here. This website is very strange. I'm trying to get the photos and the chat up, which I should have done already. Let's see. I hope everybody's doing well. We are excited. It's Halloween here. We're going to do a stream on Thursday. Man, I don't know how to get there. YouTube has changed a few things slightly, which is kind of a bummer. But we're doing pretty good. I talked with Rusty yesterday for the first time in a little while. He's doing good. I'm hoping we get to see him and have him on the show again soon. I've mentioned I talked to Dave. He's doing okay. But yeah, we're just busy. Like, it's really a lot of stuff happening. We did not go to Spiel this year, although I do wish we had gone. We didn't have any troubles at home with the family, thankfully. Although I had my mom the other day calling me, I guess it was yesterday. She came to our place on the weekend and her battery it was dead, and she'd only had it in there a year. I'm like, Mom, batteries don't usually go bad in a year. There's something else going on. Turned out there was like a short or something like that. So unfortunate, but you know, whatever. Let me see here. Well, I don't know what I've got going on here. Let me do one thing if I can. Actually, you know what? I probably would be well, let me try. But I'm excited to be working on this mini because I do want to get it done. So we have 3 more unpainted minis, including Superman controlled. I never remember that. And then I've got Robin and Catwoman. As you can see here, I did not do much highlighting on Catwoman. I just did her face. Hey, thanks for the follow. Hell March 2. Thanks so much for following. See, I have 3 more to paint. I would like to try to get these. I want to do them we won't use them all on the show, but I want to do this one on the show. I'm excited to try it out. So we'll get there, hopefully. Let me see here. Let me get logged into this. It's so crazy, so I'm using, lots of different computers all the time. We have a couple computers in the studio, couple computers in the house. Actually, there's 2, 3. I mean, there's like 4 computers out here in the studio. But most of them are old, and definitely one of them is too old to be updated to 11, which we never did. So I need to figure that out. I'm trying to finish my X-Men Marvel United set. Only finished Magneto and Professor X. I've done both of those. When those came out, Mr. 3D Print Wizard, hey Cirque, I tried to, I wanted to do that on the show. And so I rushed and painted all of them, and we just had so many other things to do, and we never got to it. Now, I think that's all that I've really painted from the first wave. I mean, from the second wave. First wave I've mostly finished. I think I've finished it for myself, but I have some to do for my friends that I'm doing the minis for, Scott being one of them. And then I guess I know I did some of the multiverse, because I've worked on 3 of these. This might even be the first thing I've done. I don't remember. Immortus, which is cool. But I've got a lot primed, so I think that is the only one I've actually painted. But I've had some issues with priming. So I had said before I had splattered both Superman and Robin. That was the airbrush, just shot a whole bunch of paint out, which was very weird. But it was my mistake. There was a loose, the front end of the nozzle here that holds it's the cap that holds the needle in, or the nozzle. The needle is locked in. So it holds this, and it was loose. And so paint got out of the path and into the air. I'm not even sure exactly how it does that, because the air goes around the nozzle where the paint goes, right? There's a vortex built at the end of this that pulls suctions the paint out. So I'm not sure what happened, but it was thinned a lot, and that was probably part of the issue. And I mean, I thinned it like it's recommended. I'm trying to do that more than I normally do, which I obviously thin it relatively well because it'll airbrush, but I did get like a better result. I airbrushed these guys, and there's like a bunch of them that I still don't think I got. Oh, you know what? I did not probably do the white on them. I think that is the case. So I worked on these here, and he's just got the gray. So I need to do the white and bring it up brighter. I think I did those, but I sure feel like I did Iron Heart, and she looks very dull, like gray. So maybe I didn't do the white. I mean, I was trying to get ready to paint on the stream. That's part of the problem. But these turned out really well for a single coat of white, basically. I painted both on a stream a while back using speed painting and a lot of edge highlight. Nice. I end up saying I'll stream a paint job, then I just do it off camera. I've done that too. I mean, I worked on the Batman a bit, and I mean, I'm happy with the results of him. He's cool. But I got too excited and did it all off camera. And this was one that I actually airbrushed some highlights on before. Hey, Dan, I airbrushed highlights on here before painting it. So I went in for the spotlight, giving shading, and I did Harley. These are all pretty cool. I'm real happy with the Joker. He turned out. I was unhappy with the priming initially, and so I didn't paint it because it was one I wanted to do. It was basically I wanted to do Batman and the Joker, but it turned out okay. And then Hush turned out really well too. They're all pretty great. And then I've got the last one I was working on was, what is her name? Huntress. There we go. All you need to do is think for a moment. We are going to stream on Thursday for Halloween game night. That's the 30th. We are not necessarily doing any... let me check something. We're not going to necessarily do anything that evening. It depends. We're hoping to hang out with Rusty here soon. That would be, we really would like to see him. Something is wrong here with the, let me go in and do that then. I obviously need to do it. So, ow, crud. But Nikki is, now she did not decorate. We were home the whole month, and she's got a lot of Halloween stuff, but we didn't expect to have a ton of guests over. So I think that was really the ultimate reason why she didn't do it, but I wish she had, because I should have helped her just pull it all down. But it's a bummer, because usually we're in Europe and we don't have a lot of time to do it unless there's a big gap between when we get back and when Halloween is. But did not happen. We actually want to go, so in Burbank, which is nearby here, there is just a really big culture of great decorating your house. Our friend Eric has a place. We did not go. They had a party on Saturday, and we were dealing with some other stuff. and we didn't go. And I do wish we had gone because, first of all, he is Hollywood effects guy, and he has done a lot of stuff. And I wish that we gone over to see that. Plus, and we can still go by, but just visit the rest of the neighborhood while that's all happening. But did not happen. Something is wrong here. So, let me double check today. Oh, wow. That could be a problem. It's so weird. I mean, I've used Macs for a long time. Gosh, you know what? This is bad. Something is going on here. I'll fix the rest of this later. But yeah, we usually like to go over into Burbank and check all that stuff out because there's some amazing stuff. Hey, Black Ace Acre Cedo Loco. How you doing? Hey, Tantaloris. So yeah, we are. We love Halloween. Just haven't had an opportunity to really think about it. But hopefully we will. Gosh, what is going on here? I'm looking at our website. Anyway, I will go with it as it is. Thanks for joining me. Enough of this. No more computer crap. I will paint. Anyway, let me double check one other thing. But so everybody got back from Spiel that has returned directly home from the team, which is great. They had a really great show. And it worked out where we collected a pretty good amount of games for the BGG library, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing a bunch of this stuff. So his cape is red, and his bodysuit, of course, is blue. And I keep in my brain messing that up, so I need to work around the ivy that is on him, which will be a bit of a challenge. But let's see how it goes. So I really want to do the cape because I'd like to try to get the S is red on the red, so I'm not sure if I should do, what did they do? I'm not really sure what they did there. It looks like it might be darker. I kind of want to use a straight red, but I'm thinking I might go for let me just look at it and see. There's I cannot remember. I think it is blood red. I would look it up on my bright red. Maybe it's bright red. I very much wanted the Army Painter Paints. What cam I use for the miniatures? Nalosword. Okay, for the down cam, I'm using a Sony AR7 III, I think, and a pretty nice lens. So we're using the same connection, our same streaming rig for our regular streams, and so it's a pretty powerful computer. It is older. It is one of the ones that cannot be upgraded because the processor is just a little bit behind. And so that could, I mean, it's a good computer, but we've been streaming solidly for 5 years now. And so 5 years is a long time in a computer that will do that kind of stuff. It seems to do okay. But it's cool. And then I have another Lumix that's just on me. Sirk, went to a new pinball hub this past week and played the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jurassic Park, and Star Wars. Did you play the new Star Wars? It is so good. It's called The Fall of the Empire. I very much like it. I've only played it not one time, but in one go. We went to a restaurant. I've talked about it before. It's a Korean barbecue place that's not far from us, but the one near us does not have the machine. Doesn't have the premium or the LE or the Pro. And they tend to put the premiums over at the new the original location more than they do here, which is a bummer because, it's a little further for us to go there. but we went with our friends and it was fun. So I will do, this looks like a pretty good red. This is bright red. But yeah, this was the paint I really wanted, and our friend was going to bring it. And I think it was, I believe it was the first phase. I would have loved, so they were going to come visit and they couldn't make it. They had something happen the night before they had to go. So it was a total bummer. And not getting the paint was minor league compared to the rest of them not being able to visit. But let me paint this on something. I need swatches. So there's a pretty cool Kickstarter that I've backed that I will never be able to fully do. It's a full-on system. What is it called? Wall. It's from Wild Form, I believe is the creator. It's all 3D printed, but you can order some of the stuff to get 3D printed. No problem. I don't mind answering questions. We're always open about our tech stuff. If anyone is near Chicago, definitely take a trip to. Oh my gosh, Galloping Ghost! I went there. I have a shirt. I've worn it on a couple game nights. The pinball place is okay. I find it hard to believe that there's 200 pinball machines. Maybe they have 200 pinball machines in their collection, but they only have 50 machines on location in their pinball space. And a lot of them weren't working well. That was a bit of a disappointment. We went there with our friend who actually works at Stern Pinball, and we were a little bummed out. Although we did get to play a lot of Evil Dead, which was fantastic. But it is a great place. And the arcade, the video portion, so it's two separate buildings about a block and a half apart, I think. The video game portion is phenomenal. It is just so great. We had a great time. Yeah, I would love to go there regularly. It's so great. The pinball space has grown over the years. It's always growing. Yeah, I'm sure. We were there in June. So here was, couldn't get the ball in the Death Star to open after opening the door. Interesting, okay. So there must have been something wrong with that machine. We went there in June, or maybe early July, I think was actually when we were there. But I was very excited. I like buying shirts from those places if they have them and wearing them. I'm a big fan of those arcades and stuff like that. And they did not have, that store did not have any of the pinball ones. I did buy one of the Galloping Ghost arcade ones, which is fine, close enough. But the other one that was a downer was Logan Arcade. They had a wall full of stuff and they didn't have anything. And in my size, they might have had a few things available, but nothing in my size. And so I met the guy that owns the place. We went there with our friend from Stern Pinball, and we were there the night of the tournament. And he's like, I wrote on the Google or something like that, or like bummed out that I couldn't get a shirt. And he's like, oh, there was a big arcade thing, and I'm like, well, I was there on Friday and there were no shirts, and that was the beginning of the event, I thought. So, but whatever. I'll be back in Chicago eventually and do it again. Hopefully they'll have some. I wish they had them online, because I actually looked at their online thing, and it was through like a print-on-demand service, and none of the shirts that they had on location were available on that in that store. Yeah, I love Stolly. He's great. It got great. I actually watch his catch up on his stuff all the time. I think it's obvious. I believe he's a photographer, photography background. Wow, this is not a big enough brush. And I probably shouldn't have put so much solvent in there. Photography background, so he does a great job with white balancing and all that stuff. This really needs to be wet. So it's really worth it. As I said, I have not backed the Patreon, and so I want to know. I want to get the swatches, and I want to back Patreon stuff. I'm just terrible about remembering to do it, and I only ever think about when I'm watching the video, potentially on my phone, and I'm not a big fan of doing that stuff on my phone. So there's a lot of bubbles going on here. I'm sorry, it's off camera. There's a lot of bubbles going on here. Yeah, what I'm looking for is, the reason why I would like the swatches is you can see, now he doesn't have a lot of legacy colors, which would be, that I know of, which would be awesome, but you know, having access to those paints that are 20, 30 years old is just not worth it. And I don't have a lot of knowledge. I, about 22 years ago, got into Warhammer and 40,000, 40K. And I used some of that era's paints. I got some of the older stuff that was still in stores, and then I got the stuff that I believe was made in France, which I really liked. I don't, you know, it's all in history. I still have like some leftover stuff that's got to be like, I've decanted it into a new bottle, and it's okay. But yeah, this is really weird. It's like it's not, it's blotchy, it's going on, and look at how it's bubbling. I don't know if you can see that as I paint over it. That is just weird. Well, let me just try to get smooth and maybe go for another coat. Maybe I didn't mix the medium in well enough. Now I'm not, actually I don't know how much I've done where I've actually used this paint, these paints. I mean, I shook it plenty. Goodness, I don't know. Super bummer, since it's the cape and I've already had problems with this miniature. I do not want to have to strip it again. Wow, that is just terrible. But yeah, I was bummed they didn't have a shirt. I really liked Logan Arcade though, man, it was great. We did not get to go to the new location in the salt mill. We almost were going to go, and then I realized we really wanted to play Hercules. We've never played it. I don't know of one locally, but doesn't mean there isn't one somewhere. But we were going to go to Pastimes a couple days after that, and I'm like, we'll play it then. And they did have that one at Pastimes in great shape. That was a pretty neat, amazing arcade too. They have a tremendous amount of pinball machines, including international machines. And it's a guy's personal collection. His family created Pinball Expo, and we met him too at, I can't remember where. Dwight introduced us, but you know, we're just people that like pinball. Wow, this is really bad. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to let it dry. I feel like it's chunky. Now, I haven't used this paint that much, so that could be something. I have used it, though. I don't remember what, though. I know I used it on the Crimson Court that I painted, but I painted those in Germany, so it wasn't this bottle of paint. Now, I tested all this stuff when not too long after I got it, and found one of the bottles, this one here, that's still sitting here. I've tried to use it for other things. Nuclear Sunrise is weird. It's got like chunky pigment in it on something, and it's a problem. And I wrote them, and they sent me a new one a long while back. Although they really challenged you, like, I'm not trying to get a spare bottle of paint out of you, particularly for a color I don't know that I'll love, but I did try to use it. I'm like, what is this? And so then I checked everything. We also went to Interium in Chicago, which was awesome because it is an arcade near both Stern and Jersey Jack. So they have machines on display there. We can't see it, it's only your face. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys, I thought I cut to that. Let me try it here. Let's see if that did it. Man, this is terrible. Thanks for saying that, Mr. 3D Print. Let me look. I should be looking at the computer. It is not doing it. What happened? Oh, you know what? There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's kind of splotchy here. Let me see if I can get to focus. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't going. I was on the, so I'm using, of course, a Wow, look at that. It was really lots of stuff. I don't want to touch it now. It's too late. I'm using a Stream Deck to cut, and it's pretty great, but it's just some weird stuff. Like, you have to use, when I'm logging in, I have to do certain things where I have to use the keyboard in the program that we use. So you have to enable the keyboard, and then you have to turn it off. Now, I did all that because obviously it worked just now. But who knows? Let me just mix that paint a little bit more. It's right here, isn't it? Here it is. Yeah, bright red. Thanks, Mr. 3D Print Wizard. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, we love pinball. That was a fun trip. We did a lot of pinball that trip. What was the other place we went to? We went to Interium, Logan, Galloping Ghost. I guess that's it. That's the stuff last week. Then we went to Pastimes in Girard, Ohio, which was great. After we went to OBS is great because you're on the software, which is pretty awesome. Lab days during university. I love these. So this was actually not this unit, but my friends that are both chemists recommended Vortex Mixer for the to shake the paint, and it works great. It really is a great great tool. Man, that really does look terrible. Look at all the kind of stuff in the pot. Maybe this is just dusty, except I don't know that that much dust would keep going, but it's unfortunate because it's going to make the cape look kind of crappy. But I can work on it and build it up with other stuff as well. So, where is it at? It's right here. That should be clean. Try one more time. But yeah, I've had this Vortex mixer for like 8 or 9 years. It's very popular now and expensive. When I bought it, it wasn't cheap, but it was less expensive than I see it going for most of the time now. During the pandemic, it went up a lot in price because, you know, I don't believe Amazon actually carries it. Somebody else was, gosh, I really got to get this going. Somebody else was selling it through them. But it's very good. It's a nice little one. It's not too big, and it does, wow, got to pull all the dried paint off of it. Oof, too much. It's very heavy. It's quite heavy, so it doesn't shift, which is very good. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'll have to do some highlighting. I mean, you know, I tried to airbrush the cape, and you can see it's a little bit brighter here, but it doesn't really show like I was hoping. So I did some highlighting, like I did on. Wow, see, it really is doing this weird bubbling. Now, I don't have a ton of experience with the speed paints, but I feel like they've been better than this when I've used them. I mean, I just used one of the teals or whatever on Huntress, and I liked it there. I've had these paints for a little while. I honestly mostly use the contrast paints. They're expensive, but they last me. Look at that. Wow. Maybe something to do with the airbrushing. So I used more thinner. I've never done that before. Maybe, like, I don't know. That could be. Too many variables to really know exactly what's happening. Well, let's let that dry. Look at that. See, there's where a bubble was, I think. But I'm not going to touch that. Let me get a smaller brush. Actually, let me get these other larger areas here real quick. But man, the downer about Pastimes is it's kind of far. It's near-ish, like an hour away from Cleveland. And it is great. I kind of wished we spend a lot more time there than we planned because we were going towards New York after that day. And so we were there like hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours. It was great. I would have loved to have another day there though. But I don't know that I probably would have just gone back to Cleveland. Opposite direction though from where we needed to go. Went to a cool arcade in New Hampshire. in Manchester. Really awesome. They are moving. So they have they're like just out of downtown at the location I believe that they're still at. And then after the first of the year, they're going to be in a new location, and it was pretty awesome, the existing location. I really liked the existing location. It was a cool look for the building, but it's getting on the leaf. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. I need to touch that up. The problem with the building that they're in is it's an office building, but it was cool. Lots of machines, lots of video game machines, lots of like runway type games, you know, style things that are in arcade machines, and like big first person shooters and stuff like that. It was really amazing. I've never really played many of those things. So I did thin it a little bit, you know, not thinned it, but reduced the intensity with the medium, speed paint medium. And maybe too much? I don't know, I've used it plenty. In the amount of painting I've done with it, I've probably used the speed paint medium every time. I don't know. Okay. Also, a lot of labs had to buy them for getting all those PCR test tubes, adding for the thermocycler. So the DC one's not available yet. This is Hush. This is Rollo 1984 2408. The Amazon has it, and it's from Spin Master put this one out with CMON. I got it even though I have hundreds and hundreds of dollars invested in the campaign that I hope we get. I just really wanted to have some DC stuff. It's too long. I mean, you know, it's bad. I'm hoping we'll get it, but it seems like they've been on the same portion. And they just sold Cthulhu Death May Die. Somebody said that they had delivered that, but I also read something about it. Wow, look at that. Looks like blood. Yeah, it's not as bright as I wanted it to be. Now, that comes down to the undercoating. You know, it doesn't seem right, but man, not great. Maybe I should have used the ball red. The ball red is really red, though, and I didn't want to do that. Let me use this different brush here. Let me get that out of the shot. Always makes it look weird. The great thing about having on the GameNight streams is I have Derek to produce the streams, and it's great. He remotes in and does a pretty phenomenal job of cutting stuff on this. I just have always screw something up. Even though I was doing it all, I somehow messed that up. So yeah, I'm on a Mac, remoting into the computer that's in the control room, which is hilarious. And I'm okay with the Stream Deck. So I'm following my traditional inside out kind of thing, and I'm going to do the Ivy last, but man, I sort of wish I did the Ivy already. It won't be a problem. let me just do the shield and see if the yellow is strong enough. I don't want to be, well, let me make sure. I don't like leaving too much undone on some of these surfaces because then you definitely get splotchiness. I do like the paints though. This one, I mean, boy, oh boy, it looks great here where underneath. So maybe I did have a mixing problem. It's better here, but look, it looks like there's fibers in there. Yeah, I can probably fix that. I mean, I can just redo it, but I would not, I'm not going to strip it. Sorry. I don't have the camera in the same spot. Something's changed here. We've been doing a bunch of reorg out here. And in my paint station, I have moved stuff around a little bit, but there's a tiny bit of yellow there, which there's just no way that's going to be visible, but I will paint around it. So here's an example. I am now breaking my rule, and I'm just getting it on the green there, what will be green. I need to paint inside out, so I need to be painting the blue before I paint this. I get carried away for sure. Okay. We do have a new solo mode coming with Jamie that comes out today. It should have come out earlier, but we had a video that we did for a Kickstarter, an in focus video that just needed to come out, and I just wanted to give them the bandwidth and help give it a little buffer for Jamie's video. It's uploaded, but I will put it live later this afternoon. But it's a good one. She's doing The Hobbit There and Back Again, which we are very eager to do as well on the show. We probably will film it next week. So it's Reiner Knizia's 40th anniversary in designing games. And we have an interview. I just put the red on it, dang it. We have an interview that's going to be done with him. I think it's a live stream beginning next month. And then we are planning on doing a stream for our support drive. I've started doing the light colors first technique in speed paint. It's impossible to fix any darker colors with a lighter speed paint. Yeah, totally. I also, that's all, I have faith. Me too. I mean, I have $520 in on it, at least. I'm not even sure I don't think that counts shipping. Demo version of that, of the first Snow Hobbit at Spiel. Oh, wow, you went to Spiel, awesome. Yeah, I wish we'd gone. I tend to use distilled water more than medium personally, but I'm a savage unless I'm airbrushing, then I'm a scientist. It depends. I like the consistency not changing, whereas, you know, with speed paints, they're already pretty thin, and I've already had a problem here with them being so thin it leaked onto the leaf here of the ivy, or the vine. So I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to do a live stream in December to celebrate his 40th anniversary that will also be part of our annual fundraising that we do at BGG. So if you want to consider supporting us, that would be wonderful. I will tell you guys that it's also probably going to be one of the last, I don't know that she'll be involved with that, but it will probably be one of the last things we get to do with Deborah with any regularity. She is moving, her and her family, which is really a bummer. But I totally understand their situation, so very much a bummer. So we'll try to do a final, hopefully a final episode that will be for now, you know, type of a thing. But I don't know. the way we film is we often will film a bunch of stuff all together and then distribute them as, you know, for whatever reason. Like this week's episode that's taking us so long was filmed quite a while back, but we, number one, it's very long, and number two, we had some issues that we made notes for. I think we caught most of the kind of things that we fouled up. Most of it wasn't that big of a deal, except for one of the boss monsters, which was unfortunate. But I'm not going to spoil anything. CMON haven't canceled any back projects yet, to my knowledge. Delayed, yes, but not canceled. But they've sold off things that are, I believe, they did not sell. I don't think they're selling anything with IP attached, because probably they can't do it. Since Spin Master is involved with this and the zombies, Marvel Zombies and DC Deceased, I think that's the name of it. They can't sell those, I'm pretty certain. So I am hopeful that they make it, but should be green under here, but I'm just going to do it like it's on top. So I imagine, I mean, supposedly there's reasons why they have to fulfill it, like because they're on they're based in Singapore, so I'm not really sure about all that stuff, but I sure hope they do. I mean, you know, I do want it. I still am fantasizing about the Star Wars one that I want them to do. I don't know that they would ever do it. Although Spin Master actually has licenses for Star Wars games, so they could do it. I don't know. I really don't know any of that stuff. I just know that the people that are basically the Asmodee people that are kind of spearheading the purchases are folks that were at CMON. But you know, they sold all of the wow, that really looks terrible. They sold all of the Blood Rage, Ankh, Rising Sun. Wow, that just is terrible. And they also sold, I guess, both Arcadia Quest and Star Quest, which I'm excited. Is that right? Star Quest? Starcadia Quest. I have that stuff. I've not painted any of it. I'm actually kind of excited about doing that stuff because it's not based on an IP, and I don't need it to look like anything in particular. And I also, here's the one thing though, I do love these because I have painted things and changed things on my own, but I love not having to sweat what I think should be happening with it. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to try to paint it like, you know, I really do love the Big Child Creatives who are in Spain, by the way. I've been saying they've been in Brazil. I think that's because I know they worked on minis, I believe anyway, for Zombicide, maybe, but they are the people that developed that, I believe, are in Brazil. Guillotine, is that who it is? But I just hope that I hope they deliver, and I hope they continue with it. I would really love to see a Star Wars one. Basically, somebody has done their own version of it, of a Star Wars United. They don't have any minis, of course, but I was thinking you could use the Rivals minis. I mean, we have some of that, but there's no way I'm going to buy all that stuff from eBay. So we got it, and I really wanted it to be. You know, we got some of it. We went to an event for that when Funko was still around, and they gave us some stuff, and we were like, oh wow. And so we tried to buy it from Walmart and could not get it. Just never get it available. Now, I believe I've looked occasionally, and I believe that they have stuff still for sale. What is going on there? So I think that's Cape Then Ivy. So let's go ahead and go for that. Fun fact, when I was at Spiel on Sunday with my buddy who works at Asbury, Germany, we shortly ran into Amanda, which was the only board game content creator I personally know. He knew because of her being on Game Night from time to time. Well, she's awesome. This was her first trip to Spiel. Might have even been her first trip to Germany. She's also the new host of the podcast. Candace is leaving, which is a bummer. But you know, she's been with us for like 5 years, so more than 5 years. So I get it. People want to move on. Not me though. I like doing this stuff. But we are hoping that, you know, things get a little bit better with everybody. It is unfortunate that Deborah's going to leave. We really love working with her, being with her. She's really a great friend. But we'll go visit her, and hopefully she'll be able to come down and visit occasionally. It's hard though. She's got a young son. There's a hair stuck on here. Probably something I pulled off the other stuff. Still not better over there, but I could do some dry brushing, and maybe I don't feel anything. I shouldn't be touching it. It was recently painted. I started. Oh yeah. So you know, Mr. 3D Paint Wizard. So you know, I don't have a problem with the light and the dark necessarily, because I find I'm able to do if I need to cover something up, I just put a little gray. So right here, I've got this mess right here. Let me see if you can see it. Where it went onto the leaf. Gosh darn it, it's not really showing up. There it is. And I don't want that. I want it to be green. So I'm going to touch it up with a little bit of gray. And generally that gray is enough. Now this is a light gray. I need to buy all of their grays. I love their grays. This is bold, bright neutral gray. It's pretty good. It's a little warm for me, but it's perfectly fine. Yeah, did you watch the Tantalors? Did you watch the first episode 0 that they've done? It was pretty good, and I'm looking forward to it. I know Will's involved. I don't think he's involved in that show. But yeah, she's also just busy with film stuff. You know, she'll be back on, I'm pretty sure, even though I don't think we haven't seen season 2 yet, which is already done. But she's back on Daredevil probably the beginning of next year. The funny thing is, now I don't watch a lot of TV or movies. I mean, I love movies and stuff and TV, but I just don't watch much because I'm not, I don't know, it's weird. But Deborah watches our show, and Dave does too. And they're away, when they're away especially, it's great because it's kind of like a little bit of hanging out with us, right? We don't have that. I don't have like, I mean, I can watch Deborah's thing, but she's going to be the DM, so it's a little more formal. And you know, she wrote the show. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's a bummer. Regardless, no matter what I say, I'm still bummed. But we've known it's been coming for a while. So I'm just putting a little bit of white on there, and I'm going to let it dry completely before I try to paint that green. And it should do okay. I could be painting it too soon. So these paints tend to need to dry, in my experience, a little longer than the contrast paints. Contrast paints pretty much, once they're dry, which isn't a very long time, it's pretty easy to, man, I don't know what to do with that S. It's going to be another color, I think. I think it should be darker, not brighter. Cool. Did you ever watch Relics and Rarities, Deborah's other show? Yeah. So there you answer my question. Yeah, I don't. There were issues with that. You know, they got bought by Legendary, and they could not continue. And I know it really bummed Deborah out because, you know, she created that show too and wrote all of it. So it's a bummer. I'm happy for her that she's doing this new thing. And it's all her creation, which is great. Oh, I forgot about his underwear. I am not looking at the image. Let me go to that. Oh wait. Dang it. This is all terrible. It's one of the things I don't, for whatever reason, I don't get. Wish there was a way to relaunch. It's giving me all this. It says I'm signed in, wants me to verify it's me. Oh my gosh, this software. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to type it in again. Am I in the wrong thingy? I'll do it later. Boo. I can go to the DC. I'm not painting that stuff anyway. I'll look at the stuff from, oh wow, there's skin on his shoulder. Where is that? Interesting. So I missed that. There's like a little bit of exposed skin right here that I kind of want to do. I'm wondering if I'm missing anything else. I only caught this a little bit later, but it's very bold. I wonder if the ivy is tearing his super suit. Okay. So a little bit of skin tone, which I think is still down here. It is. Absolutely true. She is really fun. She's a super puzzle freak. So Dave does, she does not think she's that great, but she's amazing as far as puzzle stuff. Dave does, usually does, I don't think he's doing this one this year, at BGG Con, the puzzle hunts. And he usually playtests those with Deborah, at least a couple times, I think. I mean, you know, we haven't known Deborah as long as he's been doing puzzles, so puzzle hunts, but they're fun. I haven't done one for, goodness gracious, at least a decade. I usually am helping. Well, for a while there I was helping, and then and I was also busy because when we were doing BGG Con, I helped out a lot. Now we have a huge Team Geek that doesn't need my help. As a matter of fact, I don't know everything, which sucks. But I am looking forward to going though. It's only a couple weeks away for us. So I'm diluting the flesh tone here. Not diluting. Well, it is. It's reducing the intensity of the color. And it's one of the things I love about the Gilliman flesh. I have not used any of the flesh that I don't know if I probably have. I think I have all of this. Well, no, that's not true. I know I don't have all the speed paints. I have a lot of them, but they have also introduced some new stuff recently. But I really like the Gilliman flesh. I did not initially. I was disappointed by it. Let's just see what that looks like. Might be too pale. So usually what I can do is I can just build it up a little bit. It looks like it's about the right tone if I give it a couple coats. I do want to do some highlights and things like that on him. It is something I'm trying to get more speedy about. Let me see here what Robin looks like. This, the real downer is clearly because I didn't even know that they were out of business, that right now they've closed Big Child Creatives, probably because of the CMON situation. They probably had a big team working on stuff all the time. But I should have known something was up because they weren't doing any of the no updates. So lots of minis not painted. As a matter of fact, Joker is not painted in these examples. Wow, I just got to the end and I did not see Robin. Which is fine. I can use the illustrations. It's perfectly fine. I really like the painted minis. And they're doing a book, and I'm pretty certain Big Child Creatives has got to be involved, but you know, a painting guide. And we'll see if we get that, or if we get as nice a thing as we were hoping to get. Boy, I don't see Robin painted, so. Did they not have Batman painted? Maybe not. I might have done the whole thing based on on the illustration. I don't remember that, and it wasn't that long ago. Not a good sign. I will say I don't feel that CMON is being as, you know, they had a very long pause between updates, and then their most recent one was basically just telling us the timeline. That is not a good sign. Interesting. So it's like no Batman painted, no Robin, no Joker as well. I don't know. Anyway, let's try to do this real quick. It's not wide enough, unfortunately, as undercoating. But I also, so you know, I've done all kinds of stuff here. I've painted these with dry brush undercoating, you know, a traditional slap choppy kind of thing, and I like that. Wow, that's too thick. Kind of getting ahead of myself here. What do his eyes look like? Good gosh. I need a picture. There he is. Okay. So it's all green till you get around his eyes, so I can make that work. Oh, he's not on camera. I'm sorry, guys. Rushing in while I have the paint mixed, the level that I like. It's too thick, though. It's too dark. I'm going to probably change its intensity a little bit here because I'm going to do Catwoman, and she is paler in the picture, at least what I'm seeing. But yeah, I really like Big Child Creative stuff, and I'm just truly bummed out. Supposedly the website, I did go look at it, so it does say coming soon. They're like coming back, but I don't imagine it's going to be exactly the same. But I really would like that book too. I mean, just to see some example stuff. They're not the like greatest painters I've ever seen, but they're really neat. I know that that they painted this stuff quickly too, and it's just really nice. Yeah, that update was a downer because they basically, I actually follow they have a page that shows all their projects and where they're at, what stage they're at. And, you know, they're saying that, now there's a lot of minis, so it's certainly possible, but there's a ton of minis that are not done, I guess. And that is really bothersome considering they were supposed to be going shipping here soon. So let's hope they get it together and can finish it off. Stick the landing. Wow, it's so blown out. You can't do the face that way. So let me get his ears touched up real quick, and then I'm going to put a little more medium in there for Catwoman. One thing I think that I notice is that Speed paints don't gel like these do as they're drying. So you basically, once you paint this stuff with these contrast paints, you have to stop. Don't touch it. Hey, look at me, I'm going to touch it. But it will disturb the surface that it's creating. It's kind of too dark, but so that's pretty good. There's a little splotch of something there. Let's see if I can just clean it up a bit. Nope. Does he have? He does have bare arms. He has the right to bare arms. He probably has bare. Nope, he's got tights on, so he doesn't have any bare legs, which I'm glad. Because I think the bare legs make him look too young, even though he is the boy wonder. We have been trying to watch, I know Nikki's really pushing for some Halloween stuff. We'll probably do something tonight, because theoretically it will be done with the bulk of this week's episode, which was truly, I've already rendered it, uploaded it, reviewed it, and we've re-rendered it, made some notes. One of the things that delayed it was Aaron was certain we screwed up some major portion of the game. He did not teach this game, which I kind of, just for his sake, I wished he had, so he would have been more comfortable. So we held it up, like reviewing things, and I had Nikki watch it, because Nikki does the teach. And then I watched it when I was reviewing it, and then Derek doesn't know the rules necessarily well enough to be, he sometimes does, but I can't expect him to know all the rules. I'm like, you do not need to read the rules for these games to just edit. Anyway, so more medium. I do want to get through this bottle of it. One thing I prefer DC over Marvel are the Elseworld variants. Means you can be more lax with painting. Oh, that's cool. I'm not, the reality is, I suppose you could do whatever the heck you want, but if you want it to be recognizable when you're playing, I feel that I should go with what they're supposed to look like. So you're talking about basically multiverse stuff. That's how little I know about. Well, I'm not even that much of a comic guy, but I did really enjoy in the late '80s, early '90s the anthologies of like The Dark Knight and Watchmen and stuff like that. But I don't have a lot of experience reading anything else of those things. My issue, and that's why I like the anthologies, I want to read the whole story. I don't want to, I'm not into the serialization kind of thing, and I totally understand why they do it. Making it, you want it to not ever end. Wow, that's too faint, but we shall see here. I'll just keep putting it on. Just let it dry. Wow. I might have to do some real painting here. I do not like doing it with these, even though these faces are just great and huge. I'm terrible. There's some hair thing going on here because I just got another one. The area here is not dusty. Okay, we'll let her dry. Get a little bit more on her chin. Superman is supposed to look like pained and dark, and I don't like it. I did not get it like it was in the... I will probably need to do some touch-up. Looks like the flesh there for his torn bodysuit is fine. I do not see any spines on the vine besides here. It would be cool. I mean, they're nice, the details are fun, but they're not real deep. It's one of the things that is funny about their stuff. Okay. My ear is itching. My phone is not muted. Elseworlds is what DC call their multiverse stories. Cool. Just gonna mute it, or not mute it, but make it really low. Well, I don't know. I'm always nervous about my mom, and does not have her car right now, so it's in the shop. That was what she was calling me about. The battery. I was explaining at the beginning that her battery was not working, and it shouldn't be bad after a year. Wow, I really thought that I obviously used the Batman illustration, which is phenomenal, so I thought there was a painted one though. It's amazing because they have Huntress, they have Hush, they have Harley Quinn, they have Catwoman painted, they have Superman controlled. There's only 8 figures, but they don't have no Joker, no Joker, no Batman, and no Robin, but they did Superman. I mean, he's Superman is not necessarily a hero in this case. It's okay. So one of the things you can really do is to dry brush. So what I did on Immortus is I just used, so I painted it a purple. As a matter of fact, this looks fantastic on here. I used this color, and I used the speed paint medium. So I don't know, but anyway, so I painted the cloak, and then I went in with a fluorescent paint. I used Pro Acryl's fluorescent purple, and then I layered it on to build up the brightness, and then I went back over it with a thinned, with a speed paint medium reduced intensity purple back of this Moonlight Coral back over it, and it really brought it down. It looks pretty great. I'm real happy with it. It's not, I mean, it looked really cool when it was fully bright, but I was like, it kind of feels like I'd have to do that everywhere if I went that intense. So I knocked it down a tiny bit with a layer of, it's not a layer. To get, what am I thinking? Not a layer. It's not a wash, but it essentially was a wash. Glaze, I guess I did glaze it. I actually prefer the CMON as they are at least somewhat crisp and have less flashing. They're pretty good. The cleaning of them is a little frustrating. Like I spent time cleaning this, and I see here that I missed this flash mold line on the arm now. Now it's going to be underneath. It's not that big of a deal, but there's a little bit of it up here too, which I cleaned. I know I did. And I never see it. Look at his boot. I never see it until I look at the after it's primed, and that really bumps me out. Is his boots red? I'm pretty sure they are. Might as well paint them. I should have got carried away with the flesh. His boots are red. Let's paint those quickly. Get the brush wet again. I do have a little bit of fluid in the brush when I do these because I don't want I want it to flow in and out of the brush more easily, and I feel it is definitely a better situation to do that. Where I'm not adding water to the paint, although I have added water to contrast paints. I don't know if I've tried it with the speed paints. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. So the difference, they're definitely a different chemical composition, and it does take a little bit longer for it to fully cure. I'd say that'd be the one reason why I would probably not use it as much. Because with the contrast paints, I can pretty much paint over it within 5 to 10 minutes, at least here. So we're in Southern California. It's generally pretty dry. Although there is more humidity lately. We have I think we have a storm front coming that isn't going to give us any rain or anything. But it's supposed to be warm today, and then it will probably cool down on the other side of this, which is usually what happens. We had rain a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. CMON, and you know what? Also, hey Daryl, thanks. The other thing about the CMON minis is they have changed the plastic for the better, in my opinion. They're a little easier to clean than they used to be. They're still not like the plastic I prefer from like really strong minis like the GW stuff. I love clean. I mean, I don't love to clean minis, but I do enjoy it more on the Warhammer stuff. Daryl, did you watch the baseball game till late last night, if you're still there? I'm sure he did. I was busy and did not. I'm not a real big sports guy anyway, but Gross, he sure the heck did. Was it a great game? Were you? Did you enjoy it? I mean, Scott watched it, and he's not even a baseball guy. He's like, I gotta watch this. He was gonna go to bed. And so he was giving me the updates. And he's like, it's finished in the 18th. I'm like, what? So twice the game. I'm sure it was super tense. I got rid of all my contrast paints. I just couldn't take the pots. I found all the replacements I needed in other brands. That's sure. I'm sure you were nervous. I mean, it is disappointing that it was that difficult for a team with that crazy of a roster and that kind of money put into it that they couldn't. I mean, you know, they held each other off. And the other crazy thing is, you know, I'm not, again, I don't pay that much attention, but the Dodgers were more rested. So I always worry about a team, when I used to pay more attention to that stuff, I worried about a team rusting, you know, essentially just sitting there waiting. So it made me nervous. It's crazy how much one Space Marine can cost as much an entire board game with 8 minis. 100%. That's the thing about these Marvel United. Like, I have several versions of the very first one because they had a one that came with the Enter the Spider-Verse box and the Doctor Strange mini that came in the Stretch Goals box. And I mean, it's such a great deal. I mean, I think I paid maybe $17 at one time. I mean, the prices go up and down on that one, but I've gotten it definitely cheap, and that might be what triggered me. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to try painting different methods. I do want to try to do one of these where I actually undercoat it white, or like, you know, a very, very light gray. I think it'll be cool. I haven't talked to Dave about the game. I know he was watching it. I'm sure he enjoyed it, but it seems like when that happens, like when they pull it off, but good gosh, it seemed like it was terrible. I mean, I know they had lots of strategy going on, and they walked the super hitter, Otani. Let's see here. I did not do his Speedos yet, still. Oh, I wish I could see this more. One of the things, I don't know that they do it anymore. They did, and I think they were still on the website when they redid it, but GW used to do 360s of the paint of the thing. And what it does for me is just identify the anatomy of the miniature. I don't necessarily want to copy the painting completely. I just want to make sure that I'm painting, what it is a body part or something, you know what I mean, or clothing, or a weapon, in this case of Ivy. Also, what's really great about these minis, I feel, for people that don't paint, that's inviting, is they're large. you really get the opportunity to grow as a painter on these. I mean, I've been painting a long time. Wow, look at that, see? Something is loose there. Ugh. I just painted that edge. Maybe I had too much moisture in the brush. Now I can touch it up with some gray before I paint the blue. And I should wait a while, but again, this is not, I should look and see about, I mean, there's a lot of blues in the speed paints. And there's a lot of blues. There's a lot of blues and greens in the contrast paints, and that's the real problem for me with their line. It's just, I don't have all the colors. So GW reached out and asked if I would be interested in looking at some of their other stuff. And I said, well, you know, I'm painting that stuff. And they're like, well, do you want the new paints? I'm like, you know, the new wave of paints. I'm like, oh, please, I'd love it. So they sent this stuff to me, and it has been great. Like, I really, oh my gosh, darn it, you can't see the belt. Something is gold, so I think that they're painting those. I don't feel, oh no, the belt is gold. I get it. Okay, let's go for this. I'm almost out of this paint though. So they sent me these, and they sent me the new shades at the time, which they're pretty nice. They changed them. Formulation's not the same as even the last range of the shades, which was a little bummer. But they're perfectly good, and it's a lot of colors, so it was really nice. I do want to paint. I did prime one of the Space Marines, so I'm kind of eager to maybe do one. Haven't done a Space Marine in a while. Mostly paint like the Warhammer Underworlds, which I love doing, because, wow, this is not looking good here. Oh, you know what? I just painted his belt. Damn it. That really does not define it there well. Maybe it goes into his Speedos. I don't know. That is very weird. Ah, crud. The real downer about like these minis is, and I actually have seen it more with the first wave, so it was the earlier plastic, is things can be bent. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not real strong. Do I have red in this brush? Let me make sure I get rid of it. Too bright. I do want to get all their range of grays. I will order those when we get back from BGG Con. So I need black. Deep Rock Galactic, what is that, Mr. 3D Print Wizard? Deep Rock Galactic had some amazing minis. Otani is superhuman, but I bet he can't paint minis. Ah, who knows? I mean, we know that a former Superman paints minis. They keep talking about, you know, like one of the streamers was like put a call out to, I think he deleted the video now, for Henry Cavill to do a session, and they do a battle report. I thought that was pretty funny. Although I guess, you know, we did not put the call out to Deborah. She ended up finding us. But, you know, that can happen. Dreams can come true, I suppose. Deep Rock is an awesome video game. Is the board game any good? Even better than a mission control with the mission control expansion. What is that one called again? Deep Rock. Deep Rock Galactic. I don't know that one. I do have an email that I'm just, when you were talking about this, reminded that I should look up here. Sort these by unread would be the best way to do it. Oh. I guess I read it and decided it didn't matter. I will need to look. Look later. Okay. I do want to paint this, and I want to get it to the right, roughly the right intensity of gray. I also find that if you go slightly lighter, you know, it will dry and even out. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm actually pretty much getting it here, which should be enough. And you'll never notice it. Like, I feel like because the way speed paints are, they're just messy. You know, you have to actually get pretty good control to be able to do a nice job on them. I got to tell you, that does not look like a belt, but you can see it here, like it starts to shift out of being defined. So I'm just gonna have to fake it in here. I can see some of it underneath this ivy. So there's probably some red here. I'll do that with the fine brush. I think I'm running out of paint though, because I've been letting it dry here sort of. Now it doesn't gel up, that's the interesting thing. Boy, you can see I need to paint some on his chest there because it's going to make the blue look weird because it kind of flowed a little bit there. I guess there's like a leaf there. It's pretty bad. I mean, you know, these are multi-part. They assemble them before you get them, but they're still multi-part. So there's some pretty egregious seam lines and stuff sometimes. I bought some Milliput to fill some of these things more. So, and one of the ones recently I actually made an effort to really fill what I could, and it really did a pretty nice job. It does dry very hard, and the one I'm using is pretty sandable to get it where you really want it. Ugh. So I'm hitting the belt and I'm not really getting it right. I will have to touch that up. You know what, I never looked, so there's a yellow that Speed Paint, Army Painter Speed Paints has that is pretty good, and I don't know that I've actually looked at the actual, because that one thing they do on their colors is they give you, this is a new thing, they give you a kind of like a real world color name, so it's a little more easy to understand. And I do like it, and I was watching a video where they recommended using that as a yellow. I'm like, what? As a straight yellow. It is called yellow. Well, there you go. So, Ancient Honey, that does not seem yellow to me, though. Maybe these aren't doing what I thought. I thought these did. Maybe I'm thinking wrong there. Let's see, this is vivid yellow. Okay, so I do like the honey, though. Ancient Honey is cool. What's Zealot yellow? Oof, orange yellow. Okay, so there's a very tiny range of yellow, and there's at least 4 colors in the Citadel range, so, which is a little disappointing that these guys don't have it. Because Iondine Yellow was like, there might have been another one in the first wave. I don't remember, because I did not buy them all at once. I do think, let's see here. Nasdaq yellow might have been in the first, let me look at the copyright, that'll tell me. It's pretty been used, so I would think so, yeah, 2019. So that's the first wave. So they had 2 yellows, but the one that was reasonable that I didn't know didn't like until I thinned it was, or used contrast medium on it, was the Iandin yellow. Ooh, color. It's making my red, my gray too red. Red is a bad one. You should not be. Make sure there's nothing left in the palette. Let me clean it a little bit more. I mean, in the brush. Now, let me look at that. I touched that one little bit up on his belt. It looks pretty good. It's a little darker than it's like I said, if you give it a little, you won't notice it though. I'm being a fool. Not important. Okay. Wanted to do this. Wow, that is just, that red is, maybe it's on the end of it here. Let me actually use a thicker brush because this is just too small. There's absolutely a leaf there. I can see it more clearly here. Oh, I wanted to touch that up too, but I'm going to wait now because I'm going to paint in here. Okay, more of this. Just not what I just painted gray. Not in the frame. But I hate that I can't use my good brushes. They destroy my weasel hair brushes, so I only use synthetics with them, and it's harder to control with the synthetic brushes. Ah. Have you tried the new, Mr. 3D Print Wizard, have you tried the new bionic brushes from Army Painter? So we know, hey, thanks for the follow, Holocene Exodus. Thanks for the follow. So I have not used the new Army Painter brushes, but Adam, we're friends with Adam, Uncle Adam Smasher, of Tabletop Minions, and he is part of the factory team. And he told us about those brushes a year ago or more. I feel like in the stories that we heard, he was telling that they talked about him, and I'm like, I don't think that was this year. I could be wrong. He could have told me this year, but I don't feel like it. Because it was definitely earlier in the year, and we usually get a chance to catch up with him at Gen Con, and we did this year too, but I don't recall talking about that. I could be wrong. But anyway, he said they were amazing. They blind tested them for everybody, And basically everybody felt that they were great brushes. It was actually a pretty neat system that they did to try to, I just got it on as tight. So one of the things, you don't have to really worry about it too much, like what's visible and what's not visible. You can, like I will want this because it's a little too big. I won't want to put it in there. But they're supposed to be phenomenal synthetic brushes. I am eager to try them. I won't buy the full set because I don't think I need that full set. But supposedly, going forward, all the triangle handle brushes will be the bionic bristles. So I'm eager to try them out. I mean, he was really singing their praises. And I was like, at the time, I was like, dang, I sure would like to try them. He said they were expensive. And they're expensive, but they're not weasel hair or what do they call them? The sable. Somebody else called them, what did they say? They said squirrel butt hair, bristles. So I use, these are sacks. They were a little hard to find. I found them on a education website that will sell to people, so I bought these. And I bought a bunch of them, and they were only like a couple of bucks each, and they were pretty great. I do miss GW, but also don't. They introduced me to the hobby, but these days I'm more solo or co-op playing than PvP, so no GW for me. I do love their minis too. I do enjoy, I haven't played it for a little while, but I do really enjoy, I actually haven't played any of the new iterations of Warhammer Underworlds. They changed, they made the card, I guess the cards, they told us this last year when we had our meeting with them. It was literally just, we don't hear a lot about stuff that's coming, and obviously, you know, who are we? But they told us that they were coming out with a revised edition where they were changing the nature of the cards. So it means you don't need the specific cards for that warband. You would use cards, I believe, I haven't got anything on it. I didn't really push for it. We don't have time to really feature it like I would like to. But I sure would like to now, because I'll probably buy the set myself here one of these days. Because that's exciting. I mean, you know, I could not get the the Crimson Court. There is a set, there was a way to get it like in English. I think I know our friend Sebastian bought me the one that was in German, so he kept everything except for the minis, which is really what I wanted. I mean, I love those minis, and I like the idea that you don't have to kill yourself to overpay if you can get the minis, because a lot of those minis are just produced in other sets. But they really are doing that now, because like there's a set of common themed, I guess, warbands. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they include for $100 or like $90 or so, or $100. You get 4 warbands, including Crimson Court and 3 others. I believe every one of those sets has something that I already own, so that's not super exciting for me in that regard. Let me see what they got here for blues. Royal Robes. I wonder what that one looks like. So yeah, I was explaining that wall, gosh darn it, what is that Kickstarter called? It's still going, and it's not expensive. You can 3D print the stuff yourself, or you can get them to, I'm not sure what that stuff costs, because I got a 3D printer. But they do have, one of the cool things about their set, their paint rack portion, is they have little textured inserts that you can paint to see what the color looks like. So you paint it, you can print it whatever, and then prime it white, and then heck, I'm thinking of actually doing it, no, white's good enough, but I want to do some of them. I really kind of want to do the speed paints. For me, that's the one that really could be anywhere. Deep Rock available. I wonder if Scott has that one. Interesting. Wow. Is that what they all say? They are different. I've never noticed that. They're essentially the same. Yep. What do the new ones look like? Similar, different. So they changed the plastic on these, which I think is the difference between these. These are more like the ones they used for Army Painter. The new ones are sort of like the new ones from, I really like these bottles from Vallejo. I would love to get empty bottles of these because they're very clear. You can really see the color. You can see this is kind of frosted looking. Interesting. That's a cool texture palette. I'd love to have a dry brush palette. Geez, I just threw that into the water. My bed is pretty smooth. It is a PEX bed, so it's an overlay, which is amazing because it sticks really well. And then, I don't think, it was always metal, so it would have been a texture, but it wouldn't have been a good texture. Like what you're talking about. I 3D, I got black paint on me. I 3D, not 3D print, I laser printed one just to, before they were widely available, because mostly I've seen the ones from, gosh, I wish they were easier to get and cheaper. From Artis Opus, those are pretty nice. And I bought like brushes from this last time, and good gosh, Butterfingers today. I bought brush set from them at Gen Con. I forgot to do it last year at Spiel. I was really bummed with myself because I'm like, I need to go by there. But I didn't get a brush palette, and I probably should have. Although, it's fine. I would love to have a plastic one. Yeah, it's a bunch of them, but it's just laser MDF, which is like $5. Yeah, no joke. So I basically did that. I made one. It's around here somewhere. I think I'm wondering if it slipped behind somewhere. I need to track it down. But I basically used like Catan tiles that were, because I have a Glowforge, and it was fun to do. I mean, I would love to spend more time doing all of those things. Okay, so we're gonna try to do, it still doesn't look great here. Like let me try a little bit more. What was the other bit that I saw? But I find that just a little bit of touch up will generally make that on this type of surface especially, where it's not a broad surface, you won't really notice the touch-up. Wow, it did it all over here where I was doing that edge on the... So there was too much moisture in the brush, I think. That is my mistake. Hey, there's a little bit of ear lobe that I didn't paint. Not that it really matters, but it looks weird to me. I do want to paint this blue though. So let me look at it and see. I really need to tell it, you know, like I would like to try to do the, I'm not going to build the, I backed it. I backed their, Wild Form is the name of the creator. I backed the campaigns for a few of them. The Wall, goodness gracious. They fulfill their STLs through my mini factory, and that's perfectly fine. Let's see, I've not used this color yet. First of all, well, it looks like the paint's coming out, but don't try to pour the paint until you've poked through potentially I used this, I drew a pin-viced a paper clip into the, and there's paint in there. There's like a film of dried paint. I've had too many times where it dries very quickly, and these dropper tips do not do a good job hanging on. That's a pretty nice blue, but I don't know that it's going to be what I want, but I'll try. It's very superhero-y. Royal blue. Royal robes. What is the color? Brilliant blue. Tell us, this one seems like it's a pretty close one. Look at that. It's a little darker. Let's see what this one looks like. That's very dark. I do love Aethermatic. Is it called Aethermatic Green? I think it's blue. It's like a teal. Aethermatic blue. I haven't used it in a long time. Very weird. Okay, speed paint medium. No, I didn't see they're doing a line of paints. The one thing I would really like to buy, which I don't have the wall space for, is their display cabinet stuff. I really like that. I thought they were really amazing looking, and more amazing looking in person than they looked on. Wow, see, look at this. You probably can't see it, but the top is separating here. You can see the gap. This is really, look at this. It's super loose. This is not great. Like, I don't get it, man. I wonder if the new ones are any better with the different plastic for the bottles. Okay, I just got some on the mat here too. Freaking out about the bottle. That's pretty good. It's very Superman-y. Manny, man. Oof, too thin. That'll be okay though. Wow. No intensity. I did not put that many drops in there, so it's probably not as bright as I would think. It probably needs to be on a whiter undercoating. It'll be okay. That's okay. It's got little spots though, I'll tell you. I need to like pull it off, whatever it is, little drops. That is very kind of disturbing. So maybe the brush is just not clean. I mean, this is fresh water here. Constantly getting fresh water. And I just cleaned that this morning, so. So I will probably put some highlights on this just to make this, because it's really coming out kind of one-dimensional. So, you know, one of the colors that was not popular in the first phase, I got some blue on his skin, was the Ultramarines blue. I did not get that one. People didn't like it. So I didn't buy it, but now I kind of want to try it, but I bet you it's kind of like this. Oh my gosh. I just went and added it right back to this. I think it's terrible. Let me try a little bit of toothpick here. It's dark anyway. Okay. Those look more like bubbles that are stealing clumps of pigment. That could be the case. Although it was actually kind of it was lumpy. So it was something that I pulled out that was an actual lump of something. Woof. So this seems like it's a single pigment paint, which means you would be able to mix with somewhat certain results what you were going to get, certain of the results you would get. Yeah, you can see here there's a gap where like this was stuck on, printed separately and stuck on the ivy or something. Interesting. Not that it matters, you really cannot see that. Most of the time they actually do a pretty good job. I mean, that's the most amazing thing with all mini companies nowadays, is that just the 3D modeling lets you really get some great results, and you have super smooth seams, you know. That looks pretty good though. Particularly up here where it's a little smoother, which is very shocking in my opinion with these colors, you know. Didn't we just hear this song? So you can see here, this was what I was talking about where I didn't. Now I could fix that as long as I don't get it on Horror Movie a Day. Tuesday I'm taking a small theater to watch the original Halloween on their laser projector. Wow. So I should be able to, if I can just keep it off the red. Wow, I see some red that I missed underneath that ivy. Then I can always touch up the ivy portion. So I will try very hard to avoid the Superman logo. Kal-El. That should do it. But there's a bunch more. The leaf is right here. So I'm using a Kolinsky Sable brush for this. I definitely find that I have better results with the, I mean, I don't know how great the source of these is. This is Monument Hobbies Bomb Wick Igniters, which I don't even think they make this version anymore. And you know, ultimately, like, it isn't great to be using the sable, you know what I mean? It's not. I would much rather use the synthetics. I have way more synthetic brushes than I do sable. I mean, I've used Winsor Newton since I started painting. That was my teacher at the time, was a huge proponent of them. And we were mostly doing oil painting, which is way more appropriate than acrylic. But I do believe I used acrylic even then. Used it on the acrylic then. They were not terribly expensive. We were getting them at student prices, so they were not that bad. I did not get under his on his tummy there. I got a little bit on his buckle, which needs to be gold. Oof, look at that ivy on his under his arm here. Oof, leaning into this. What time is it? Ooh, 12:30, almost time to stop. I do have things I have to do. Didn't do a very good job of hitting the red there. Won't matter. Cancel your plans. You must paint straight for the next day straight. I would love to paint. I need to try to get. I want to get these done. I think I could be done with these this week if I could focus on it. So I have AMP, or well, not AMP, but Atomic Mass Games. I got the paints that they did with Monument Hobbies, and I got some of the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, and I'm not 100% eager to do more Marvel, but I would love to. Number one, I would love to assemble those minis. I've heard they're really great. I kind of want to do the Star Wars stuff, and I might buy some of that. I kind of want the Inquisitors. I watched Wapelius paint them, and he did such a great job. He paints with oil paints and mixes his own fluorescent pigments and stuff like that. You know, paints with pigments. It's amazing. I don't like using solvents like that. I mean, you know, water is a solvent, but I just don't. It's too much, and it's messy, and I don't like it at all. I never have, and I used to paint oil paintings, and I think that kind of cured me, because before I was even out of high school, I was already painting acrylic stuff. But man, is he good. I haven't seen him stream for a while. I don't know what's going on. He may be just behind a paywall now, but he was great. I think his sister passed, though, which is really sad. They were both really great painters. He is just phenomenal. And just the speed, you know, he would do a whole bunch of stuff in one sitting, you know. It wasn't instantaneous, but it was very quick. He'd be done with this, and it would look phenomenal. And he would paint it with oil paints. It would be unreal. It's so great. But I'll tell you, the one thing that's exciting about oil paints, if you want to go that route, is they are way easier to work with, right? They don't dry for a long time. And I'm not certain how he dealt with that. I mean, in the way that he was painting, maybe it was thin enough that it wasn't a long time before drying, but like it was okay because he's just got the brush control that he could paint and then go right up next to it. And you know, another great thing about it is it doesn't bleed like, you know, you could have it too much solvent in it, but you know, mineral spirits or whatever. But oh my gosh, it was so great. I used to go raid him in the evening streams. Maybe we're just not doing it at the same time anymore. I don't know. I need to look. And he just was great, you know, talked to the whole stream. So that was where I painted that gray to cover up the red. It does not look bad. I might have painted a little too soon. I kind of forgot about it. I do feel like it, kind of like the surface wasn't quite ready, but it's not bad. That's pretty cool. He looks great. Let me go a little bit longer. The Bob Ross of board games. Thanks. It is. I don't worry about it too much. You really shouldn't, because it will only disappoint you if you mess up. You really need to like not sweat it. It's easy to develop techniques to get better at it to solve that problem. And you know, as much as I rave about contrast paints and speed paints, getting good with standard acrylics is really great. Like, you know, you want to build those skills. It's truly, you get amazing results. But I find in my case, I'm just faster. Now, I've been painting with the contrast paints for a while now, so you know, you develop the skills that you need to do that as well. And my regular painting skills have always are improving as long as I'm painting, because I'm still doing things on these that are improving my skills. I mean, you know, again, like I did that fluorescent paint on that cape, and it was amazing. I just thought, oh, what, you know, you know what it actually was? I watched another great streamer and YouTuber, Vincent Venturella. He did a cape. No, was it a cape? But with red. And I think it was a fluorescent red. I'm like, oh. And so then I tried it with the purple. It was not like instantaneous. I think it had been a while cooking in my brain. But man, is it great. Let me get this. I screwed that one part where I got a little bit on the belt. Buckle. I don't mind making this a little brighter. Now I can't paint it because I gotta let it dry. He's looking pretty good though. I'm really eager to paint this vine, man. I really want to go for it. I'm not going to do that today because I just touched up some of it. Do I have some paint on the vine? I can't tell what's going on there. I can see this one leaf. I'm going to assume that's two leaves next to each other, and I will paint it to cover up that so it will look more green. One of the things I'll do sometimes under the, as I'm getting ready to paint, I do that on the hair. Let me show you no, this was a dry brushed one, but I have Black Widow, and I actually I didn't really do that on her, but this is, the dry brushing gave her hair like highlights, and then when you put the contrast paints over it, it looks great. Again, I'm embarrassed by this face. I just tried to, it was so, looked like 5 o'clock shadow that, I've done, one of the ones I did, her face is great. And I think I've had to do that every time. Like, I just was unhappy with the amount, and that's where I started to try to spray the faces. You know, I did not come back to this. Is there still some in here? It's getting gelish. Try to do one more coat, maybe. Let me look at it here. Yeah, it's too gel. Let me put a little bit of distilled water into it. But I am absolutely with you on the bottles, man. I was complaining about them the other day. Like, let's look at it. Here again. Every time. Look at this bottle. Every time I come to it, this is open. I absolutely squish it down and it comes back up. I do not get these bottles. Now, it doesn't dry, but it's crusting up the lid more, and I've cleaned the lid out. It's terrible. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Is that one of the newer colors? It is. It's the purple. I really like that purple, man. Put down for, yeah. I actually might use a gold. So the speed paint metallics are amazing. And I might just actually do a real gold buckle and then the rest of it yellow. But that is a great way to do it, especially if you're going to just paint naturally too. I would like to do the undercoating. I have a bunch of paints from, primers from Badger, the Stynylrez ones, that are different colors, like an actual metallic undercoating for, to do like metallics, silver and gold, I believe. I've never used them. I was like, oh, I might as well just buy these. It was during the pandemic. Because I had the black and the white. What was the one? Well, black. Because I've always, for the longest time, I've always underpainted black. Which isn't necessarily, especially if you're using speed paints, it's not important. It's this, I'm doing the Zenithal, and I've done Zenithal for a long time. It came from my, not before painting minis, kind of a thing, but really it came to fruition as an undercoat to study the shading so that I would paint on top of that with colors to match. I've seen plenty of people talk about that, and it's a pretty valid technique. But I love using it for the minis. I mean, you know, this guy is entirely the undercoating. Like, you know, the highlights. I did do some edge highlighting, but like, that's just the cloak, the coat, and I love it. I mean, it looks fantastic on the playfield, and it's quick. I did that one in basically in one session, and I would be faster if I wasn't screwing up and talking, and making mistakes technically with the stream. But man, I love the rate at which I can get through these things. I could be much quicker if I was just painting. It would be awesome. I do. I mean, I've not bought any of the too thin coats. There's one place. So the Geeky Tees, which is a pretty great local store, they are in a. They moved. I'm not a big fan of their new location. Actually, you know what? I don't think the metallic's the way to go. I think I'm going to do the yellow. Let's see how the Imperial, I'm going to just go with it, the Imperial Fist contrast here. I mean, Stahli's charts give you a good idea. I wish he had maybe he does have some that are direct comparisons for rough replacements. I catch up on his videos every so often. Thanks, Board Gaming Crew. He's getting there. I'm not real happy with his face. He is distressed, so it says controlled, Superman controlled, but it's not It was looking better until I decided to try to make him look a little darker there. So, I wonder if that's really mixed enough. It doesn't look like it. Is this a first? No, this is second phase. I'm just shocked I haven't done another one, because 2020, it was based 3 years apart. This would be the next wave, and I thought they might do a announce something around Nova or Spiel where they talk, maybe introduce some metallics. Maybe they just don't feel it's worth it, but because their metallics are not, I love Retributor Armor color. I don't love the paint, and I'm not even sure if it's great anymore, because you know they've taken their manufacturing of their paints in-house, so I'm not even sure how great their stuff is anymore. Like, it was really awesome. I really love that gold. It was not, what was the one? Shining Gold was the original, or the old one? Not original. That original for me. Yeah, you see, like, this is not, it's not gold enough. Not bright enough. And I did put, now I put a white. I'm not going to worry about it though. I mean, not a white, I put a lighter gray on it. Oof. Probably need to do the whole belt. And that's what I was saying. Sometimes I'll go in and I'll do a little bit more brush undercoat. To make him, make those things brighter. And I really like to do it in the highlights on hair. As long as he doesn't punch the highlights out of her hair. Yeah, it looks okay. It's not going to get any brighter though. That's the problem with the contrast paints. It depends on the paint. Some of them actually have, this is, I believe it's probably a single pigment paint. So it doesn't have any like white. Some of these paints have like a white in them. I mean, I've shown you the siliconum gray that really settles out. I mean, I think I turned one of these blues over a bit ago. Nope. 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 This one has a lot of, it's blue, Storm Fiend, contrast Storm Fiend, but a lot of white colored pigment in it. Vallejo Mecha Metallics are the gold standard for metallics. I mean, those are pretty awesome. I think they call them just metal color now. I do have, hey, thanks for the follow. Ravanus9. So I have some of the metal color Vallejos. The issue is I don't feel they have a bright enough silver. This is silver, and I don't love it. And I also have like a gunmetal or whatever. I did watch Vince Venturella has some great videos about metallics, and he is a huge fan of the Vallejo ones. But he just tried the P3 new stuff, and he said the silver was amazing, which is exciting because that's the one color. I used to love mithril silver. I still have a tiny bit of it left, but it's probably worthless now. But the mithril was from GW was amazing, like amazing color, at least from my memory. This is from 20-something years ago of using that. But I sure missed that stuff. I thought they were great. And I believe those were when they were manufactured by a company in France. And I have no idea who that company is. I've looked. I don't know if they went out of business. And HMC, I believe, is... No, not. It's not HMG, I think. Let me look. I've got a bottle of their stuff. I've got many bottles of their stuff. HMG. So they make a lot of different paints. I guess they're still making coat to arms. This Magic Metal is awesome. It's basically warp block bronze or tin bits. Gosh, tin bits was one of my favorite colors too. Gosh, tin bits. That's one I'd like to find a modern equivalent of that. I mean, I think warp block bronze is still around, and it's close. They came on a triad system so you get the base, shadow, and highlight. Nice. That's awesome. I haven't seen those. I definitely would like that. I mean, I think their metallics are generally pretty, the new stuff is pretty great. I don't love the old. Do I have any of them here? I mean, I like the Air. The Air ones are great. This polished gold is pretty great. And this is older. Airbrush ones are often pretty great, but I have like a standard bottle of their metallics. I did not like it from back in the day. Game Color, yeah, there you go, there's one. It's okay, gunmetal. Not as good as I'd like. Too thick. For me, metallics look bad when they're too thick. They end up, it's no longer smooth, and usually on metals, you want it to be smooth. I probably have some old P3 metallics. I did not love them. Let me see here. Funny, I can't really find. I see the white. Oh yeah, there's the gold. Solid gold. It was okay. Not a real great paint. Still have it, so that's your first sign. I didn't use it very much. You put that away. Don't want that getting messed up. Okay. Well, I should be wrapping it up. It is 12:50. Oh goodness. I gotta go get that episode released. Ugh, the yellow. This yellow is nice. I mean, look how bright it is. It's a little orangey, but I like it a lot. The Bad Moon yellow is pretty good too. I've used it the other day, and I wanted to use this one. Yeah. So these three yellows came out. It's hard to. Iron Jaws yellow, which is. Let's shake it up. It's a little greenish, but you know, it's an orc color. Okay, wow. Well, I'm sure Stalin, I wonder if he goes to Spiel. He'll probably cover them. Very exciting though. I'm all for like really focusing on trying to do, you know, the pigments are better on metallics nowadays. I gotta tell you though, I am pretty impressed with the speed paint, the Army Painter speed paint metallics. They're not super solid, but with the right, you know what I mean, meant to be completely opaque. But when they're on the right kind of undercoating, they're really amazing. Talking about like what you were saying, where you would put like a brown down, your gold would look really cool. Vince also has like his own mix of gold, and he's like, none of them really compete with his. Blue over there. Cool. Let me get this in the frame. So now we're not done yet. I may finish it this week. It'd be great. I won't be doing a painting stream till maybe next Thursday. And I'm not, let me think about it. A week from Thursday is like the 6th. Yeah, I might do a stream. We'll see. But we will be leaving for BGG Con before too long. I will definitely keep you guys in the loop. So if you go to boardgamegeek.com/live, our schedule's on there usually, and sometimes we have the games that we're going to feature, and we have others, like Amanda's got hers on there, and Board Game James has his on there, and Board Gaming Crew, Mike, who was just on a chat on Twitch, he's on there on the schedule. Who else do we have on there? We have Steph Hodge. She streams on Wednesdays and Sundays. We have Derek has a Wednesday night stream. He also does some other streams that are video game related. And then Brado has some of his stuff on there, their live streams. Ruel has stuff on there. Of course, Adam Smasher, we put his on his Monday evening, Friday morning streams on. And it's cool. There's we got a great mix of stuff. Adam's the only other painter that we put on there. Not that I wouldn't put others. If somebody's got some good stuff, let me know. Biggest change was switching to aluminum powder. Yes. Small enough aluminum being lighter sits in the medium better than in the older stuff. 100%. I mean, I was blown away by these colors. They're pretty good. And I love the Vallejo stuff. I mean, good gosh, they're in a big bottle. I mean, this one I've had for years. I think I bought it at the store over there in Burbank. Burbank Hobbies. They're great. Okay, well, that looks cool. He'll be done soon enough, and I'll do maybe some dry brushing or layering and glazing to build it up. Yeah, see there's a problem there. I will probably try to add some other color there and build it up. There is a fluorescent red. Let's see if I have it. I mean, I do have it, but if I have it available here. So I might try doing something with this. I mean, goodness gracious, there's, if you want to see great dry brushing, Artis Opus has he's really fantastic. Not Brian. Is it Brian? Really phenomenal dry brushing. I also watched, actually, Vincent Venturella did one recently that was really great. Showed, like 3 different things that he did very quickly, and explained like what methods to take. Now, one of them was a pretty large miniature, like a piece of terrain, but it was really awesome. Yay for Pro-Aqua. Love me some American-made paints. Pro-Aqua's amazing. So as I was saying, I have the, they're behind me, I have the AMP paints. That's the Atomic Mask. It's an Asmodee brand. They did a paint set with Pro-Acryl, and the colors generally fit in to the existing line. So it's pretty awesome. I have, how many bottles over there I got? I have some of the Artis ones. I have the transparents, I have the fluorescents, I have most of the metallics. I have some of the gray, well, maybe only one of the grays. Actually, I have more than, because I just got the sets. I got the AMP sets, and then there are 2 sets of 9 paints, and I got a base set of Pro-Acryl, which includes the black that I use, and the coal black and the bold titanium white, which I do need a new, although it's not, I had to thin it out. It was getting thick. Like, white really coagulates. The titanium white transparent still has problems. It's just awful. Here it is. It's not titanium, it's just titanium white. Let's see how thick it is. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I use that occasionally too. I really liked, actually I use their transparents as replacements for, as a brighter yellow. Their transparent yellow I used a lot as a, because I couldn't find a really good one. Yeah, titanium white is not good for dry brushing. I use this as a yellow on a lot of the early Marvel United stuff I painted, because there was not a great solid yellow. I mean, these were the yellows from Games Workshop. Do any of these look yellow? I mean, this one is pretty good when you use a lot of contrast medium. I've used this one, but I don't remember it. I should, I kind of want to build that system that has the little, you have replaceable swatches that you can change the colors on. and you can 3D print them, and it looks pretty neato. I don't know how you print them. Maybe you print them vertically, so because they're like little cylinder, you know, they're the shape of the bottle essentially, but it's just the holder. Yeah, that's a brown. I mean, once you put contrast medium in, it probably gets more yellowy. But yeah, this is orange until you put a lot of contrast medium in it, and it's okay. But yeah, they didn't have good yellow, and I had to use the transparent. I do have a resin printer. I'm not going to do the rest of the stuff, but I'll probably do those little. Although I don't know what colors I have in resin. It's been a while. I need to buy some more resin. I have a lot of gray and stuff like that. But yeah, painting lines, layer lines on a FDM printer is the worst. I mean, I've done some 3D printing of minis already. I did some stuff for Gaslands that I mods and stuff that I also have some racks over here that has some resin printed like components on it. I have a SCADAS rack here that uses some stuff. But yeah, I agree. I actually moved my resin printer. It's over here now. I have a dryer or a curer. I don't have a dryer. And I have a washing station, and then the main. It's Elegoo. It's nice. It works great. Prime the resin in dark gray. Okay. Fantastic. Well, everybody, gosh darn it, why is this not closing? Let's see if this will work. Yay, it worked. Okay, everybody have a great one. Have a great weekend. It's already, well, no, it's Tuesday. My brain is messed up. It's dark in here, so it's always evening. Have a great week. We'll be back on Thursday with a Halloween game stream. We're probably going to play an oldie one that we've done on streams in years past during the pandemic. I know we did it at least once. Well, no, we've mostly been streaming since the pandemic, so yes. We have played it before, but it'll be fun. So Scott's probably going to join us, and Derek will play with us as well. And we'll just control their stuff for them. Other than that, you guys take care. Try to have a great week, and enjoy Halloween. I mean, it should be fun. It's nice that it's a Friday, so we probably will end up doing something with our friends. You guys take care, and let's see if there's somebody we can raid. Hey, Daryl, talk to you later. Should see what you guys are doing. Let's go and see what we can for raiding. Oops, what was that? I need to go to Stream Manager. Nope, I gotta go to the dashboard first. It's such a weird thing. Like Stream Manager, that's what we're doing. Like it should be the first thing I can go to, but I have to pull up another thing to do it. Okay, it is. We probably have. Let me see who we're following. Wow, what's the deal? Are we not logged in? No, we're logged in. I wouldn't be able to stream here. Wow. Similar or smaller size. Why would I care? Why are we not? Why is the following tab not here? Let me just see what following. It's so weird. They change this stuff. It does not make any sense. Filter by tag, following. Maybe I somehow closed it, or Derek did. Couldn't find channels based on your filters. What is going on here? Quick filters, small, similar, smaller size, same category, rated U. I could try that. Nope. What is the deal here? Filter by tag. Let me just see if I can type following here. Thought I did this. It shows it as a tag. Yeah, it doesn't show anything. This is the strangest stuff here. Let me just refresh this and see. And we're still logged in. Ugh, so annoying. You know what? One thing that has not happened. Oh, there it is. Following is there now. Literally, time roller. Well, time rollers usually here. So, spooky unboxing. So let's raid time roller. Say hello for me. Sorry for the folks on YouTube. You take care. Time to finish your spreadsheet and then maybe paint some stuff. You should absolutely paint some stuff. No maybes. So time roller is going to be starting in 3.5 minutes. Almost 4 minutes. I guess we'll hang here for a minute because it'd be better to raid while he's there. I hope you guys have a good one though. We are, number one, I want to have lunch and then I need to check on some stuff, but I do need to get the latest solo mode out. So many emails, man. I mean, it's that time of the year. Everything looks okay though right now. 3 minutes. Well, let's look back at this while we can here. Got nothing better to do. We'll go over what I painted recently here. So we got Superman I'm working on. Started with Batman, which I was excited to paint him, so that was very cool, and I'm very satisfied with the results. And then I think I painted Harley second. Oh, I changed glasses. I'm like, why can't I see this? She looks pretty good. And then I painted Hush. And I think he turned out pretty cool. And then next I painted the Joker. He's neat. And I painted Huntress last. She turned out really well. I really like the roof. I might go back, I said last week I might go back in and put a little bit more highlights and then put the blue that I used on here. I think I used this one. Lizard Folk Cyan, seems like it. What's this one here? Not Raging Sea. So it might have been Lizard Folk Cyan. It looks cool. I think it's supposed to be night, but I was taking it like, you know, there are blue, kind of like these types of tiles that are like Spanish tiles. Anyway, turned out cool. Where are we at here? Wow. Oh no, 1 minute and 22 seconds. I thought I was getting worried there. But I will get ready to start the raid. So let's start the raid. Anybody that wants to join in, you can click on through on Twitch. If you do raid, say hello for me. I don't know how many people we actually have watching on Twitch. $50 seconds though. Cool. Well, you guys have a great one. I will definitely not be back until next week painting, so, and then I probably will get only 2 more paints. Maybe that Friday and the following Tuesday, or Thursday and the following Tuesday, because I believe we leave on that coming 2 weeks from this Thursday, which, you know, it's fine. I mean, I'm looking forward to it actually, really. It's just getting away from home is a little challenging. Okay, well, as soon as he goes live, let's see if he actually goes. If he's doing Comic Hunters, that's supposed to be a good game. Although it says spooky unboxing, so I don't think so. Is he going live? Anyway, we're going. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. And I will see you all next time. Thanks, YouTubers. Thanks for being here. You guys take care. Have a